Alright, yo, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching this video at, this is your boy Javad. For those on YouTube, Demon Yusuke 713. Um, I'm here to talk about the Trayvon case. I'm now completely calm. Well, not really completely calm, but calm enough to kind of see it. And I could somewhat see where the jury is coming from, seeing that the prosecution failed to say everything that was there. They were shying away from the fact that the crux of this case is about race. That's the bottom line. And the prosecution was trying to shy away from it and trying to play too much on the heartstrings and sometimes not enough on the heartstrings. The thing is about the justice system, crazy enough, is that you have to make it seem as if there's no way in hell that this person did it or didn't do it. It's based on assumptions and it's mostly due to how either side plays it. You could just be a bystander who somehow fits the description of the killer, and you might have known the victim and probably placed something of yourself, and it can only be a 5% chance. A 5% chance that you are the killer. But that 5% chance is enough to put you in jail. Whereas with some people, there's a 100% chance, but I mean, not all the evidence is there. For us as black people, that 5% chance equals to 100%. I'm not trying to play the race card that much, but the fact is, it's true. After years and years of oppression and other things, just stupid little things like cops sometimes pulling us over simply because we got a nice car and all of that. And I mean, that still happens today. Race is still a big thing today and has proven me right and plenty of us that have our eyes open right last night. Um, for all you white people saying, all you blacks playing the race card, this, that, and other, and that we seem to think that it's okay for a black guy to get away with it, but let a white guy get away with it, it's wrong. That's not the case. Like basically, if freaking Devontae kills Susan, Devontae needs to go to jail. Plain and simple. Some of us close to Devontae will be like, free my nigga Devontae. Some of us that are stupid and all that, but sometimes maybe the nigga didn't do it and all that. And that the evidence didn't support the theory that Devontae killed Susan. Things like that, I don't really care if a black person go to jail or not. If the evidence all points to him, he needs to go to jail. Plain and simple. It has nothing to do with George Zimmerman not being black. It has everything to do with the fact that all the evidence pointed to him. There was inconsistent stories from Mr. Zimmerman. There are inconsistent stories. Um, and just straight logic. We already know he killed Trayvon. That is something we already know. So that's one thing I get right there. So there's no really need to even say, hey, you're guilty of killing somebody because he already said it anyway. going on. So then there's the fact that Zimmerman said the gun was in a niche in his back, where most people hide their guns at when they're about to go somewhere. Just put it in their pants, right there in the niche of their back. And that Trayvon's knees was up to his armpits, which is in some cases somewhat of a pressure point system or whatever, but I think it was up to his armpits right there. His knees was right there, somewhat pinning his shoulder down a little bit. So my question is, if you laying down with maybe I say 150, I'll give Trayvon 150. I don't know his exact height and weight or anything, but the man looks maybe 150 because he was a football player. He probably was lifting weights. So I mean, muscle weigh a whole hell of a lot more than fat does. So yeah, so if here's a 150, 5'11" guy, maybe he was 120 on top of you. How are you supposed to get your gun? And then there's the fact that he said he feared his life, but there's nothing for you to be afraid of. You're a guy who's taller than him. Yeah, the defense called him Mr. Softy, but here's the facts. How is he soft? How is he soft when you're a bit taller than him? You train yourself up to the peak physical condition that you could bring yourself to. Meaning, at most during that time, you could probably lift up 300 with no pain. Probably. I don't know Zimmerman's peak condition, but the fact is he was trained. You knew some MMA, and you had a gun. And the fact is, let's say that Trayvon was a master martial artist. Yeah, Trayvon would have been beating your shit in. You might have to pull out the gun. You might just have to. But no one can fight a gun. Not even Bruce Lee can fight a gun. The only people that can fight guns are in comic books. He can't dodge a bullet. He can't dodge a bullet at point blank. Because it's impossible. Strictly impossible. But I guess that's the reason why they're comic books. Because there's no physical way that Batman will be able to dodge point blank range or dodge automatic fire, because it's impossible for any human to do that, even if they are peak condition. You could have precognitive abilities, kind of see where the person is aiming at and move a minute or a few seconds before the person even thinks about shooting, and then, hey, you're out of the fire range. But that's only if you're far enough away, not point blank. But that's not really the argument here either. So the point is, like, Zimmerman wanted us to believe that he was afraid for his life. If you were afraid for your life, why did you go after him? Why did you confront him? Why confront? Why he even... I mean, I could see why he kind of followed, because the police said, let me know if he does anything else. And there's not really... You can't really say, oh, he did nothing else, when, first of all, you don't know. But really and truly, he was also told not to follow him. So he was both in the right and wrong, I guess, but mostly in the wrong. Because I did say not to follow him. But it's confusing. Um. So. Uh. Yeah. Then there's the whole thing about, like, you could follow him and tell the police, "Hey, I think there's something going on with this man." You could do that. Nothing wrong with doing that. You up here thinking this guy's bad news, but it was racial profiling, which is wrong, but at the same time right, because all of us racial profile, all of us, especially after a few times when one type of race steal from another type of race over and over, and really and truly, Trayvon, I think, could have. I mean, when it's dark at night and all of that, you could think that that's the same perp stealing all our stuff. So I could see the reason why he racially profiled. Is wrong in every way. But I mean, all of us as human beings, especially in this country where we said to be to be over race, to be done with it. Racism is gone, but still, it's a major problem. Amazing. Um, but the fact is, he shouldn't have confronted him. We all know who and what Zimmerman is. He was a guy who wanted to be a police officer. He wanted to be RoboCop, wanted to clean up the streets of Detroit, except it's Florida, and you wasn't made to be the best police officer there was because you failed the psych test, which means, yeah, bitch, you're crazy as hell. Yeah, he failed the psych test. The test that that tells us where he is psychologically, and I guess he's not all there psychologically. Um, just all craziness right now. So again, to everyone, especially those of you who don't understand why all of us black people are like, fuck, fuck Zimmerman, white piece of trash, fuck all white people. Sometimes I'm not making an excuse for them, but you have to come at it where we're coming from. This case proved that the justice system fails us. Us as a people, especially since there are hundreds, probably thousands of black males, young black males, that didn't even fit the probably did fit the profile, but are completely innocent that's in jail right now. This is no secret. Statistics shows that there's more black males in prison, but it also shows that there are people that are wrongly convicted. And we, as a society, the government, not really we as a society, mostly the government, don't want people to know that, hey, we wrongly convicted this man. So even if it was proven that this man was wrongly convicted, the chances of him getting out and living the rest of his life is slim. And out of everyone in this country, I mean, Mexicans do have their fair share of oppression. I mean, they do. Asians, Indians, especially Indians, because of the whole terrorism thing. I'm not talking about Native Americans. I'm talking about Indians. The freaking Gandhi and shit. Um, yeah, like they all had their fair share of oppression. We all do. All of us who are not white. But for some odd reason, it's like we get the most. I mean, white people, Indian, Mexicans. I mean, for the most part, do y'all ever really get pulled over for having a nice car? Are y'all ever going inside a store and people are literally afraid and thinking that we might steal something? These are the everyday things we have to go through. I go into a store, I'm being looked at. Pass by a police car, I'm being looked at. It's just an ongoing thing. And it hasn't changed. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think that it will ever change. And it won't change because of the fact that the way this country is set up, even though it's set up to be the most fair place in the world, it's a very unfair country. I mean, most of the politicians there are white. This country is set upon the rules of democracy, and democracy says that everyone has to be checked, especially the president, who is like our monarch, our king, or whatever, somewhere. And the thing is that all these white people want to go like, "Fuck you, Obama," this, that, and the other, and why hasn't Obama did anything? Is that he can't really do anything. He can't do anything because he's just the president. He has to go through all these paperwork, and Congress has to agree to it, Senate, everywhere. And most of Congress Republicans, race Republicans, who believe that, hey, that's not supposed to happen. They'd rather believe. Most of them would rather watch the country go down than have a black man president. And the reason why bring in Obama, because all of it meshed together with the Trayvon Martin case, with everything there is. Because also in Florida, I don't think it was Sanford, Florida. Maybe it was Sanford, Florida, but a woman just fired off some warning shots. Just some warning shots. Say, hey man, you need to move on. Self-defense. No one died. Sent to jail. Zimmerman did something worse. Disobeyed police orders. Killed someone. Claimed self-defense. But he's free. Another black person. I'm not sure it was in Florida though, but it was basically the Trayvon Martin case, but reversed. It was a black man who shot this white guy, this white teenager, claimed self-defense and went to jail for it. Now, I'm not saying the black guy should have got off or anything, but if this is the same case, just pretty much reversed, why is it that Zimmerman is free? Because if the only thing you gotta say is I claim self-defense and be free, then you're free. But that seems to mostly work for those who are of the white category. That's now most of you are saying that Zimmerman is not white, so I don't see what all the hate is. The hate is coming from because Zimmerman is part white, and I do believe his father is a judge, and his father I do believe is white also. It was I do believe he's white on his father's side. He's part white, part, and his uncle is a police officer. Now, we could have hate towards the Hispanics, really, but when it comes down to it, Hispanics weren't the one that oppressed us. We go for the white because, really and truly, y'all are the most known for being racist. It's no secret. It's all over Twitter, all over Facebook. There'll be a somewhat slight racist joke. White parents come up, niggers. Why? Because nigger. And y'all are racist because y'all feel that y'all are safe behind the camera, behind the internet, the interweb, so to speak. Y'all believe that you are safe behind this. In a way, you are. But just because you're on the internet does not give you the right to say nigger. Goddamn niggers. Or does not give you the right to say why, because wetback. And I mean, it's the crux of this whole thing that it is a racist. It's a case based on racism. Always have been, always will be. Um, our heart goes out to the family of Zimmerman. I do believe her name was Tracy Martin. The family of Trayvon, I salute you. You should try and move on. For those of you out there who are pissed, I understand why you pissed, and I understand that some of y'all want to be like the motherfucking Punisher or Batman and go get his ass and fucking show him what's up. But I personally believe that Zimmerman does not deserve to die, because when you die, you are now no longer suffering. You're no longer suffering. You no longer have to deal with guilt or mistakes. The torture of the heart. When you die, there's no physical torture either, because if this man was to go to jail, more than likely the inmates would have done him over 10 times worse than what we would have as a people who seeks vengeance would have. Because inmates are super serious about the whole injustice against minors thing and all of that. If you would have raped a little girl, you go to jail, they would have raped you until your whole spirit is broken, beat you down, and then finally kill you. But they'll make sure to break you down before anything else. So going to prison, it might have saved him that. But not going to prison, he has a lot to answer for himself, for us, and as I said, a year from now, a month, as I said on Facebook, maybe tomorrow, a week, a month, years from now, he will answer for what he has done. He will answer for what he has done. But hey, that's my opinion on the whole thing. My whole opinion on this fucked up country we live in that we so love. And you know, um, not to put a damper on what I just said, or to go back. As I said, my name is Javad. It's Demon Yusuke 713. I might change my name and start up a different YouTube channel, because I actually did the Demon Yusuke thing after I've watched the full thing of Yu Yu Hakusho all over again. I was just all Demon Yusuke. It's fucking awesome. Subscribe, support. I will be talking about stuff like this. Games, comics, who should win this, that, and the other. Some comedy. I'm gonna be doing a lot. And I'm mainly gonna be using YouTube to try to get my name out there for that. I'm gonna be doing all types of topics and whatever. But yeah, this is me, Javad. Come from Houston, Texas, born and raised, and now I'm wearing a New York hat and everything, the New York snapback. And it just kind of goes well with the shirt, whatever. But yeah, Trayvon, you will be missed, and this shows that our justice system is broken. Yeah.